We have always been utterly fascinated by the constant back and forth between tech and the music business. New tech makes it easy to create and distribute music. But every time that happens, the business model of music changes. And our pet theory is that whatever is happening to music today is a preview of what will happen to everything else 5 years from now. Take streaming. Spotify came to the US in 2011, years before Netflix released House of Cards. And now, Apple TV Plus just had a movie that won the Oscar for Best Picture. You may be wondering, which is more profitable, NFTs or music royalties? Luckily for you, Nugget Lover, for this video, we will be talking about Steve Aoki. He is a superstar DJ, producer, record label owner, and prolific entrepreneur. Does Steve Aoki make more money in NFTs or in music royalties? Let's find out. DJ Steve Aoki can claim almost 3 billion music streams, mapping together an admirable 7-album solo discography, 106 singles, and a multitude of collaborations. Electric streams crossover genres like crosswalks, working with hip-hop trendsetters will.i.am, Lil Uzi, Vert, and Afrojack, 1990s boy band Backstreet Boys, snotty rockers Blink-182, and, in some of his best work, uplifting the metal rap crew Linkin Park. The man is so ubiquitous and so revered you'd expect him to be driving a gold Rolls Royce. The music industry, however, is tough. At the private Gala Games music platform launch, Aoki asserted that his live DJ gigs probably make up 95% of his music income. The rest arrive in the form of paltry royalties and sporadic advances. That is, after all, the job that the iconic David Crosby took a break from yelling at clouds to discourage kids from taking up. After 10 years setting the music world on fire, Aoki has finally found the key to a music fortune: NFTs. As an artist, Aoki is no one-trick pony. In 1996, his first act was to build upon his production skills to found the genre-setting Dim Mak record label out of his college dorm room. Recognizing the brand potential in a trend-setting outfit, Aoki also included events, lifestyle, and the Dim Mak apparel brand. This has served as a rocket launchpad for global music partnerships, books, documentaries, visual art, and now NFTs. After years in the business, Aoki spied a multi-billion-dollar NFT market and reacted like the true collegial entrepreneur that he is. He joined up and joined forces. The first products to emerge was Harry, a dual video clip of an Aoki-inspired werewolf that award-winning German artist Anthony Tedesco colored with his signature bright psychedelic color array, complete with purple and yellow shades. Harry sold a year ago for $88,888.88, completing an over $4 million initial offering. Not a bad score for an initial entry into the market. This appeared to be in the norm payday as Aoki's animated series Dominion X is available as an exclusive NFT, now up to 1,000 Ether or $2,578,710 on OpenSea's NFT marketplace. Aoki teamed up with Seth Green's Stupid Buddy Studios to present what is now the first episodic series to launch on the blockchain. This stop-motion animated short follows the adventures of Character X, first seen in the Aoki Tedesco NFT drop Dreamcatcher. The fanged pink puppet is blissfully unaware. He is pitted against the microscopic inhabitants below his feet, ninja farmers Chonk and Swole. Though the series is a romp, jumping into NFTs isn't just a game to the record executive. Aoki believes in enabling NFTs to revolutionize the record industry. As music NFTs become more of a part of how we integrate and support artists, the label will have to do more than just add the song on a playlist, he explained at Gala Music. He noted how NFTs avoid the need for record labels. thus severing artists of all stripes from contracts to connect directly with fans. Distributors and publishers could feel the pain, but they've long been a chain holding down creators from profiting from their output. Like all utopian perspectives, though, there are multiple perspectives to this paradise, including that of the fans. K-pop stars BTS faced blowback when they announced a summer roster of NFTs. The main complaint? The environmental impact of NFTs. Still, as Aoki claims, the multimedia maker is a futurist, and there already is an entire industry cadre aimed at attacking the carbon damages from NFT. For the future is not going away, and the multi-billion-dollar industry isn't going to disappear anytime soon. One of our mentors talked to Steve about how he makes his bets, what the business of music is like him for today, and where he sees it changing. And, of course, we had to push on the hype around the Aokiverse. Steve calls it a social club that will now combine Web3, Web2, and IRL experience. What does that really mean? And how is he actually going to manage that community? And like all blockchain entrepreneurs, we wanted to know how he was thinking about the energy use and the climate impact of his project. There is a lot going on in music right now, between NFTs and the blockchain. We want to talk about the Aokiverse, but we should start with some foundation so you can understand how the business is working. Before COVID-19, before NFTs, before everything went upside down, what was Steve Aoki's business like? Outside of music and touring, a primary part of his business was investing. Once he started making money around the late 2000s, after DJing actually came through full bore, that's when he started doing some small investments. His family has been involved in restaurants since he was born. His dad was a restaurateur. He said, "Oh, I might as well invest in something like that." And he kind of went into that world a little bit. Actually, as difficult as restaurants are in general, 9 out of 10 fails. If you open something like a nightclub or a restaurant, there is a 90% chance it is going to fail. The restaurant business has been doing very well for him for the past 10 plus years. Then, he got into properly investing and understanding how to position himself in that space. He started a private fund with Eminem called Eminoki, just using his money. He was basically just getting into rounds of late-stage investing in stuff like Uber, Pinterest, Spotify. So, all those investments he got into were very successful. Got into SpaceX. It was a friends and family situation where some people that had stock were selling. There was a sliver of a chance to be able to participate in that, and he was able to get in. So that was pretty awesome. He got into that about 5 or 6 years ago. The 2010s are when he started getting into alternative investments as well. If you talk to his business manager, you're supposed to work at a triangular business model where your private equity and all the alternative investments are at the top end of the triangle, and all your safe investments are at the bottom pyramid. If it was up to him, it would be flip. It's just way more fun getting into startups and passion projects. He considers his record label and himself, what he does with music, an investment. That's private equity. But thank God he has someone else at the other end of the stick that gives him sound advice. That balances him out. But it is more like a square, not a pyramid at this point. He does so much in crypto now. He got into crypto around 2018. He invests in art heavily. He has some incredible prices in my house. And he doesn't sell. What he has realized is that in the end, he is a bag holder. The NFT community loves him because he hardly ever sells. He has a team that helps him operate. So, they try to get some cost basis back. But it's rare that he sells. Also, he goes and sweeps floors. If he believes in a project, he doesn't just buy one. He learned his lesson. With art, he'll buy one because he's going to have it hanging on his wall. He has also invested into some very high-end toys, and he has a whole room of them. But when it comes to investing, it has to have a level of experiential value for him. It has to have a sentimental attachment. He is far more likely to invest into something like that, rather than a stock that's going to perform well. He will let his business management handle that. That's one of the differences between investing into a coin versus an NFT. The back end of the technology is similar, but the front end is really important. NFTs are the way we identify with culture, with other people. It is a way they communicate. It is obvious that the majority of the people who are very confused about NFTs do not see that. They're like, you identify with a JPEG? People think non-fungible tokens are a bad name, but it is the most literal description. You cannot trade them for another. It's like EDM. Electronic dance music is literally EDM. NFT is a literal definition of what you are getting. So, how does NFTs and the music industry collide? How does the music part of his business work? Or how did it work before COVID-19? We think people are often really confused about that because it is a business that doesn't really make a lot of sense. The answer to that question is the business of music feels non-existent outside of shows, less you get a big sing. But that's rare. That's how people get their payday. Even some big movies might lowball you because they're so big. Unless you get something like a commercial for Tide detergent and get paid $100,000 aside. That's sweet, especially if you wrote the song or are participating in the publishing and the master. You get paid on the master side. But 99.9% of the artists that are making music and putting it out there cannot survive off streaming income. The majority of people who are making music are not getting 100 million streams or 100 million views on YouTube. Even if you are a big artist, even for him, he might get some really high streaming numbers on a few songs, but it's only for a few songs. YouTube is also a very low income stream per view. He definitely would not have been able to have the lifestyle that he has if he was not touring, because that is probably 95% of his income. Obviously, as you get bigger as an artist, you find other ways to make money outside the music business. The music business has not changed. Once they set a standard, that is what everyone is paying. Whether you get 0.008 of a cent or 0.01 of a cent, it doesn't change much. You might get a level up there, but it is not enough. So clearly, NFTs are providing a different way for musicians to be more engaged with their audience. You have the NFT community, the crypto community, that is also looking into music as an art form. They're having that conversation, that music is an art, which we can all agree with. It is not regarded as an art on the financial side of collecting. You do not collect a song. Just listen to it for free. It has always been that way. The 90s were crazy for record sales. CD sales were through the roof. There was no streaming. Then came Napster and MP3s, and the whole business got turned upside down. Now, we are in Spotify's world. We have a vinyl collection, and we are sure you have a much bigger vinyl collection. But people still collect physical music. No one collects digital music. How did he manage through that? One of the first things his label and the artist did during that period of time was the unthinkable. Give songs away, essentially, for free. Then, management would say, "What? No chance." But he knew this was where the business was going to go. Even if it didn't make any sense and it felt like everything was getting chopped off in terms of how much money they were making. Especially since the label doesn't participate in artist touring. But he knew artists were going to make more money when more people listened to their songs. As far as the business side of things, he feels like one thing that he has always had in his back pocket is being a little bit earlier and saying, we have got to do something that other people aren't doing and take that leap forward. That is a bit scary and a bit speculative. The haters are going to come out, but fuck him. Let's go. He definitely went into space, guns blazing, and it worked. He said, just trust me on this, on one song. And there was so much more visibility on that single. On the business side, it didn't really help them in the short term, but it did in the long term. That is how you have to think whenever you make these speculative moves. You can't think about short-term gain, or you're doing it for the wrong reason, period. One of the life lessons he has learned is that he's here and he's not going anywhere. When it comes to his label, he doesn't say, we have got to make all this money on this artist or band, then boom, we're out. No. They are here to establish an even larger community of people that support them, starting in small rooms and then onto bigger rooms or arenas. Keep growing it, keep servicing them, and keep advancing. Fast forward to now, he still works from exactly the same concept. He's not going anywhere. He's here. This is the future. This is how commerce will be. Regardless of him not going anywhere, commerce will be here. That is why he sees these people that get into the NFT space and thinks that there are these rugs that are happening. Rugs refer to people who are pulling the rug out from others. He's like, don't you see? Next year, everyone is going to be doing it. And you just rugged yourself. That is how commerce will be. This is how we will communicate. This is going to become very normalized. You have to think about the long game. Let's talk about the Aokiverse. We have seen it described as a token-gated social club and described as a membership community. But on the website, it says it is Web3 meets Web2 meets IRL. What all that means? How does it work? It is everything that they have just said. It's a social club, a membership community, Web2, Web3, IRL all combined into one because there are real-world utilities and offerings, like the live shows. There is actually one person that made it to the highest level. On that level, one of the offerings is that they can come to the studio, where they are going to make a record and release it together. It's going to be Steve Aoki and XYZ dropping a record. He doesn't just work with musicians and artists. He has made songs with Bill Nye, J.J. Abrams, Ray Kurzweil, people that are scientists and thinkers. Probably one of the most exciting collabs he hasn't ever actually done that he's putting out to this space, the other, is hopefully doing a record with Elon Musk. He just needs the spirit of someone in the studio with him when he's creating, and it can turn into something beautiful. In any case, a lot of stuff is happening at his shows, between the access to shows he's already been doing and what they're going to be creating, and the drops, both physical and digital. Did he ever worry that art and music is just getting too financialized and that NFTs are creating monetary incentives around culture? He thinks that they have not really made a dent in culture. They have made a dent within our small world, for sure. But as far as cultural ramifications, they are so small. They are such a small percentage of the whole space. The dialogue is going to change when your favorite artist is doing an NFT. And it is art. The whole world can listen to Radiohead's album, let's say. But Thom Yorke is making something special with that album, limited to only a certain number for people that love that album and love Radiohead. It then provides an income stream and a conversation in a way that has never happened before. It adds a different layer. It allows it to be viewed as art, the same way that you would buy a piece. It's exciting. He thinks, at the end of the day, it is up to the artist. He does want to say, he really loves this whole world that they are creating with Aokiverse. The passports, the community membership, the social club, and the NFTs in the past year. It's like a multiverse of communities that he is a part of. When you enter the space and say, I want to be a part of all that is happening in the Aokiverse, they start understanding and respond with, oh, you really like that? Okay, we are going to deliver that if it is possible. He really believes that in a year's time, there will be other people in this space that are in the center of certain things that they love. Let's say there is someone that loves cars. They deserve to be able to say, this is our membership community to all things in the car culture. And he really loves the person that is in the middle of all that. They should have a membership community. This is basically what he thinks is going to happen in a year's time. Where you see really brilliant projects that drop, you think, oh, this is great. I'm going to use this idea, this seed. But I am going to put our own DNA into it and rebuild it out for the community that we are trying to speak to. prediction is that this is going to happen a lot more in the next year. Can you time capsule that? That's it for this video, Nugget Lover. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon!